Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be Get to the Point with Women. I got a quick email here from a guy. And what I want to talk about today is I see a lot of guys doing this. They'll go and they'll get a girl's phone number. And I did this when I was in my 20s. I didn't know what the hell I was doing because I was afraid of moving too fast because especially when I was on dates with girls I was really into. And what happens is I'd start doing things like going to lunches and then giving them hugs at the end of the date. And so I'd go out with them and just basically act like a friend. And the thing that's really important to understand is women like guys that are direct and get to the point and go for what they want. They want a man who gently leads them through the course of the relationship and the process of seduction. But if you're sitting around waiting on a woman to make all the moves, then she's going to assume that you're weak, that you're a beta male, and you're probably not very successful with other women. And so she's going to think, oh, you're a really nice guy. I'd like to just be friends with you. And so the longer you wait to, you beat around the bush and you dance around in circles without really getting to the point, eventually she's going to perceive you as being weak, and then she's going to stick you in friend zone, and it's going to be next to impossible to get out of it. So I got an email here from a guy. He says, how's it going, Corey? I just came out of a 10-year relationship, and I started watching your videos and started trying to implement some of your techniques. I'm trying to put myself out there, but I've always been a pretty quiet guy. I met this shot girl. I guess those girls that walk around in bars that have all little shots. And in a bar that I've been going to, and she says she likes talking to me. She hugs on me, but she hugs everyone else too. I'd say the other thing you got to look at is, because I always talk about how you want to look at who a woman is touching. Is she putting her hand on your arm? Is she touching you? When she laughs, does she laugh at all your jokes? But the thing you got to be aware of is some women are just naturally have their hands all over everybody just because they're just very affectionate. They're touchers, and so you got to look at that as. Because guys will say, oh, well, she's touching me, but they ignore the fact that she's touching everybody else around them too, and so they think, oh, well, she likes me because she touched me. And so that's why you got to be really aware and pay attention to your surroundings, especially when you're interacting with women like this, to see, because what you're looking for is signs or indicators of interest that communicate that she has a sexual attraction, that she's physically interested in you, and not just being nice to you because she does that with everybody. And so I want to suggest a video that you also should read, because you said you're a very quiet guy. I did a YouTube video a while back called Improving Your Social Skills. So if you go to YouTube and you put in Improving Your Social Skills, Corey Wayne, Improving Your Social Skills, that video will come up. So you want to follow the exercises and the details that I talk about in there. And so you can get used to talking to people wherever you go, because the idea is by doing it over and over and over, getting used to striking up conversations to people in public. Then when you come across a girl you really like and you really want to get her number and you really want to go out with her, it's easy to strike up a conversation and start reading her interests and telling whether or not you got a shot with this girl or not before you go ahead and risk asking for the phone number. Because if women are into you, there's things like I talk about in my book that will give away their interest. So that way, because I know a lot of guys, their biggest fear is getting rejected, and I teach techniques that you can use that are very low risk, so by the time you get to the point you're asking for a phone number, you're pretty sure that she's into you. So that will really help you out, because you got to get out of your shell. You got to get to the point where you're talking, where you can just literally, ultimately the goal, the place that you want to get to is just as you're going about your life and you know what you want, you've dated a lot of women, you've been through the process of seduction with enough women, you've been in enough relationships, you've called enough women for dates, to the point where you lock eyes with a woman. It could be across a dance floor, it could be in public walking down the street, it could be at the coffee shop, it could be at the 7-Eleven, wherever it is. And when you notice that, you feel it's unmistakable, and everybody around you that's observing this and watching this and witnessing this, they'll be able to tell that there's amazing chemistry with the two of you. And you won't get yourself to a place where those things can happen effortlessly unless you practice and become prepared for those things to happen. And so when those moments happen and you look in her eyes and you know she wants you just like you want her, it's easy just to get her phone number. Not only get her phone number on the spot, but make a date right there on the spot, either later that night or maybe a few days later during the week. And when you've when you've talked to enough people and you get used to it, it's like breathing. You don't even have to think about it. It's like you see her and you're so excited about the opportunity that the universe has brought this amazing woman to you that you just handle everything properly. And then so you go and you have a first date with her and everything goes great. And the whole time that you're together, everything is effortless. You don't hold back, and neither does she, because she doesn't sense any hesitation in you, and vice versa. So he's back to the shot girl. He says, she says she likes talking to me. She hugs me, but she hugs everyone else too. I told her I don't buy shots, but she still comes over to me, so it's not for the tips. She mentioned she has a boyfriend at one time, but she hasn't mentioned him anymore. I got her number and texted her a couple of times. She responds, but never texts me first. Can you give me some advice? Now, the reason that women don't, there could be a couple of reasons. Maybe she's still with this guy, but the thing you gotta understand is, like, when I talk about how women will start chasing you, usually, most of the time, it's going to take 2 or 3 dates, going out and doing everything right and having a great time with them to the point where they feel so comfortable with you, they feel like they've known you forever. Then after, like, usually the second or third date, they'll start texting you saying, oh, hey, I just wanted to let you know I had a really great time the other night, or I was thinking about you, I can't wait to see you again. And those are the kind of things that women will start to do, which is basically your reward for being a great dater and the fact that you're starting to sweep her off of her feet. And so what happens is the longer you date and the more time you spend together, it'll get to the point, because I say just once a week you call a girl and you ask her out for a date, and then usually by the third week, she'll be calling you in between your dates, and then you just simply use the fact that she's reaching out to you to arrange a date right then and there on the spot, because that's really the whole reason why she's reaching out to you, is because she really wants to see you again, and you take advantage of that. The worst thing you can do is when a woman reaches out to you and you just chit-chat back and forth, but you never invite her out for another date. I mean, the idea is to quickly get to the point, go for what you want, because that's why she's reaching out. She's hoping that you are into her as much as she is into you. And it makes it really easy dating that way. I mean, think about it. If a woman is chasing you, she's not going to dump you when she's trying to figure out what you're up to or what you're doing, or she's reaching out to you. And that's the best position for a guy to be in, as opposed to a guy always constantly chasing and blowing a woman's phone up several times a week from the moment that they meet. And what happens is it never gives her a chance to meet you or develop any feelings for you slowly over time, because it's a scientific fact that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. And so women need time and space away from you to think about you, to wonder about you, to wonder when you're going to call next, to wonder what you're going to do when you go out on your next date on Friday night or Thursday night, whenever it happens to be. And so what you need to do with this girl here is you're texting her a couple of times. It's like, what are you texting her for? Just be direct and get to the point. It's like, I can tell you, you got her number, and now in the back of your mind you're worried about the boyfriend. Oh, I'm gonna do the friends only thing first. It's like, then you're just gonna end up getting yourself put in friend zone. And so what you should do is, once you get a woman's number like that and you have the balls to ask for it. I mean, she hasn't brought up the boyfriend. That's why I say you never bring up the boyfriend, or are you married, or whatever. I mean, obviously she's got a ring. I mean, there's guys out there that are in the pickup and seduction community. They're fucking ruthless. They don't care. They don't care if she's married. They don't care if she's got a boyfriend. Even if she has a boyfriend, their attitude is, hey, if you want the girl, go after her. Because some women will cheat. And the danger, if you're just hit and run, just looking to get laid, that's one thing. But I mean, you never know. You're going to run into a psycho boyfriend or a psycho husband or a guy that, how would you feel if a dude's trying to go after your chick? Obviously, you wouldn't like it very much. But the reason that you don't bring up the boyfriend is because you never know. I mean, maybe she dumped this guy, or maybe they broke up, or maybe they're on the outs. And obviously, if a woman is not talking about her boyfriend or the guy that she's with or the guy that she's dating, it's because her interest is not that high in him. But when a chick is in love and she's really happy in a relationship, she's always going to be talking about her boyfriend, all the great things that they do together. And that's her way of communicating that, hey, I'm tied up. And I don't mess with girls that are in that situation. Why? Because my life's a drama-free zone. I want somebody that's single and is available, because if I really like a girl, because I don't go out with just girls because they're beautiful. I mean, there's fucking gorgeous women everywhere down here. But I want more than just a pretty face. I want a girl that's actually interesting, that I actually find her fascinating, that I want to sit there and actually listen to her talk about whatever mundane things are going on in her life, or her career, or whatever. I want a woman that has some passion. I want a woman that has some goals. I want a woman that takes care of herself, that works out. And not all women, not all beautiful women are like that. So, like I said, as you gain experience and you get into enough relationships and you date enough women, you seduce enough women, at least for me personally, my standards have gone up over the years. And so, like when I was younger, I dated a lot of different women. I slept with a lot of women that today I wouldn't even fucking give the time of day to, just because I was young and I was inexperienced and I didn't know any better. And what I found as you get older, the quality of your relationships gets better just simply because you improve, your skills improve. And me personally, and most of the guys that I teach, is over time, we all want a really super awesome girl that fulfills us in every way. But until you get to that point, until you build your inner strength and your inner confidence, you've got to date around, and you've got to, because you don't know what you don't know, and you haven't practiced these skills enough, and you don't know until you've dated somebody for 6 months or a year. There's idiosyncrasies that come up. I mean, people can hide who they really are for the first 90 days in a relationship. And like I said, you don't want to be going after women that are married or in relationships, because what happens when you fall in love and you get into a relationship with a girl that ditched her boyfriend or ditched her husband for you? The thing is where you'd be deluding yourself is those guys, because I'd been in these situations when I was younger, and I think, oh, if I pull this girl away from this dude, she'd never cheat on me. She'd never do to me what she did to that guy. And what happens is when things go sideways in your relationship, say you get real busy in your career and you're not really paying attention, you're not taking her out as much, and you're not returning her calls, or you're just not spending time together like you were, and she can feel you're not really present in the relationship. Those kind of women, because they cheated on their boyfriend with you, guess what they're going to do to you when they think the future of the relationship is in doubt? Yeah, they're going to be going out with other guys behind your back, and then you're going to get you reap what you sow in life. And so if you go and you date women like that, it's going to come back to you. But like I said, back to this girl, I mean, stop texting her for no reason. The only reason you should be texting a girl, the phone simply has one purpose, and you use that to set dates. That's all. That's all you should do with it. So instead of texting her and BSing her, just invite her out to meet for drinks. That's all you've got to do. But be direct and get to the point, because if you keep doing what you're doing, and you're giving her hugs when you see her, she's going to think, oh, you're just a nice friend, a nice guy to be friends with, and that's it, and you'll never get anywhere with her. So if you have a question that you want to ask me, or there's a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen, send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max detailing your questions, your situation, your challenges. And you just got to give me several days to get back to you with a response, because I get a lot of email from the internet. And I also get a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers, but be patient and I will get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. And you can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which is going to be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get the Kindle version of my ebook, on my website underneath the email sign-up box is a box that has a link that will take you to the Amazon Kindle download page, and you don't have to have a Kindle device to read my book. All you have to do is download one of their free Kindle e-reader apps for whatever kind of device you got, whether it's an Android device or an iPhone or a Mac or a PC. And once you've got the app on your device, it only takes a matter of seconds to download my book, and you'll be reading it in no time. And I will talk to you soon.